recording. There we go. There we go. All right. Now we got recording going. So, you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, hello, metal pilgrims all over the world. This is Julius from Metal Temple signing in with a very special guest today. We have none other than the legendary Ross the Boss Friedman with us today. How are you doing, Ross?
I'm fine, everybody. Greetings from New York City.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so let's get this going. Right now, you got a band called Death Dealer going on the schedule. Now, I can imagine that there are a lot of people out there who just who don't know who Death Dealer is. I mean, you're new, and despite being a super group with quite a few names behind you, I think it would be kind of nice to just hear in your own words. How would you describe Death Dealer to the ignorant sub who've never heard of the band?
All right. Well, let me set the table here for the band. We're releasing on October 2nd. We're releasing Hallowed Ground on SMG Records, Sweden Music Group. This is our second CD. We released our first CD 3 years ago. We self-released it. It's called War Master. Okay, and we started about 3.5 years ago. Um, we're called Death Dealer, and that's pretty much it. Did you want to know the band members?
Nah, well, okay, well, yeah, sure, maybe I know, but maybe the people out there don't know. So tell them.
Okay. You say super group, but I never really looked at it like that. But a lot of the press did early on 3 years ago. So we have um, Sean Peck on vocals. He has a band called Cage, and he has a side project with Denner and Sherman, the two guitar players from Merciful Fate. They did an EP, a side project, like 3 songs or something. But the main band is called Death Dealer. All right. We have Sean Peck on vocals. We had Mike Davis on bass, who played in Halford, and Lizzie Borden from the '80s. We have a great new drummer. His name is Steve Bolognese from Into Eternity. He's incredible, absolutely incredible drummer and great guy. And Stu Marshall from Empires of Eden, great guitar player from. You still hear me?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So that.
Okay, because my iPad's a little bad. Stu Marshall from Into Eternity, not Into Eternity, from Dungeon and Empires of Eden, and you got me, Ross the Boss.
Yeah. Now, I didn't actually know about the lineup change. How did that
Oh
come
yeah,
to?
Rhino from Manowar.
Yeah.
Our old buddy played drums on the first record, and due to some family things and some personal things, he couldn't keep it up. So we were forced to get a new drummer. We just got an amazing drummer. He's
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, I can imagine it can't be easy replacing Rhino.
Well, you know what? Rhino's been replaced, and if you listen to the his drumming on the video, you saw the video, correct?
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. And did you hear Plan of Attack? We pre-released Plan of Attack too.
No, I missed that one. I only watched the video for Break the Silence. That was like
Okay, but
that
we
was
had,
fun.
if you go on our Facebook page and scroll down because there's so many posts on it, we did release Plan of Attack first, and
Okay, wow, yeah,
you
gotta
can
check
hear
that
it.
out.
You can hear 2 songs. So,
All right, see,
all right,
everyone out there, you hear it? You got 2 songs to hear right off the bat.
that's right. Before everyone in the world goes out and buys it.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, actually, actually want to talk about the track because listening to Break the Silence, it seemed like if we take that as like, yeah, this is what Hallowed Ground is going to be all about, then it sounds a lot like the same kind of goodness that we got on War Master 2 years back. But what I want to do is want to know is that like the thing? Is this just round two straight up, or are you guys going in with like, well, we have a few things to show that maybe you're not expecting.
Yes, this record is it's not the same as the first record. I mean, it's the same band. Um, we have matured and developed as a songwriting unit um, from what 3 years ago to now. So I mean, I think this record is deeper and more varied. I think we have, my input, my style is more present. My
Oh.
songwriting style is more present on this one than it was on War Master.
Ah, okay. That sounds really interesting. So like, if you just like lay it out in general terms, because we don't want to spoil anything. Like, what would you say is like the main difference, just really specifically?
I can't tell you there's a difference. I just think that the band has evolved. The band has, within such a short time, the band has we went from, we went from the internet, just a Facebook band, developing
Yeah.
it on Facebook, and Stu meeting Sean in San Francisco and Mike to this band doing an arena tour, opening up for the Metal All Stars, which I was an All Star in Eastern Europe, playing for about 80,000 people, and to this, to writing the second record and to meeting SMG, and it's just this whole thing that's just happened in 3 years, and it's just a constant. The band's in a constant state of evolving, and everything is just heading up. It's just
Yeah.
amazing,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. The songwriting, you will see when you hear the full record, has reflected that.
Right. Yeah. Wow. That sounds really really cool. Because and I can imagine, like when you start off, even if you are a real veteran in the scene, like every time you start up with a new band, like it's gonna take some time before you really like mature into it and like this is what we're gonna do. This is what we were meant to do. And that might take one record, it might take one demo, it might take 5 records. Might take the time. So I'm really glad to hear that you guys like you're really starting to flow together.
Yes. I
Yeah.
mean, listen, when we first came out, I can tell you this, that all we heard for a lot of people, oh, it's just a one-off project. There's so many records like that, and it always sucks, and it never ends well,
Yeah.
And we heard that, and I'm like saying, no, this is not the case. But you know what? In music, you have to prove it to people. You
Absolutely.
have to prove things to people. I mean, by your actions
Yeah.
and your work. So, I mean, I think people are kind of getting people that are are kind of getting the the reality that Death Dealer is here to stay, and this band is a special band. I mean, it really is. So, I mean, it's not because I'm not a boastful kind of a guy. This is my 30th record, in the music
Yeah.
for a long time, and I can tell you that this is the genuine article.
All right. So that sounds really cool. And actually, speaking about that, I've been meaning to ask you, uh, War Master, like even though it was, I would say it was pretty damn well received, from critics
You
and
know?
and fans alike. It still kind of flew under the radar from a lot of people. Like I can't really think of like a lot of people that I can go up to say, hey, like, do you know Death Dealer? And they'll be like, yeah, absolutely. Like there are not that many people. Like, why do you think the release actually flew under the radar for so many people?
Well, I could tell you, Julius. Honestly, the record was self-financed. The record was put out without a label, because people couldn't didn't believe it. People just didn't believe it, and it's just like it just takes one person, one company to get their feet wet, like SMG has done, and then, I mean, if we had SMG from the beginning, things would have been a lot different, you know.
Ah, okay.
So I mean, everything we had to do ourselves. But now we have power assist right now from SMG.
Right, right. Okay, yeah, absolutely. That
I
that
mean,
that makes a lot
it's
of
hard to
sense.
get. Listen, this world is a big world, and it's hard to get to everybody
But yeah, of course.
without. I mean, without the machine,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is one of the reasons why there are so many new started and even old bands out there who just they aren't heard. No one knows that they exist.
Right? You miss. I mean, you have to be in people's faces
Yeah,
all the time, you know. And metal is there's so many metal bands out there. I mean, and everybody's smashing their heads up for a little space in the on in the internet, in the metal world, in these magazines. Everyone looks alike now, except us. I mean, we're here, and judging from the reaction so far, I think it's very good.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Based on just having heard one song and based on having heard War Master, like absolutely, yeah, hell yeah. But
Yeah.
all right, but one thing that I've also been curious about is that, and this is a phenomenon that I've been starting to see more and more the last years, is that bands coming together, playing together, and even writing records together on the internet, like you guys did. And
Yeah.
like, what I'm really curious to hear about, and I love asking this whenever I have the chance, is like, could you tell us like about that process, like personal experiences, wisdoms that you learned, and just what you think about that?
Well, I'm an old school. I'm an old school guy. I can tell you, I made my first record in 1974. Right? The
Yeah,
Dictators Go Croakers, and we just, and the band is in the room. The band writes the song. Whoever writes the songs, the band works it up in the room. The band records in the room together.
yeah,
That was the template of of the music business until a certain point, right? And then with the internet, you could be, I mean, you could pass files to people in other countries instantaneously. Okay,
yeah,
so I mean, we didn't. I mean, the perfect situation is we were all in the same room together, of course. But you know what? You know what? Guys that really want to do it will find a way to do it. Okay? Stu Marshall lives in Sydney. I live in New York City. Sean, Mike, and Steve are in Los Angeles. Okay?
yeah,
So there's got to be a way to do it, and there is a way. Okay? We could Skype together. We had Skype sessions. We had, you know, pass the pass the pass the riff around to everybody. And all of a sudden, if you keep working at it, these songs start taking life. These songs started taking life. I got this riff. Ba 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 ba. I got this riff. Da 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 da. I got this little bit. Stu makes a demo in like Stu makes a world like an album quality demo in 5 minutes with his mastering process. So here's
damn,
here's how it would sound. Ba 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 ba. It doesn't sound like shit. Everyone can hear it. Da da da
yeah,
da da. So you're working on it, working on it, working on it. Sean's there. He's singing in his office there, and he's like, it's amazing. It's amazing. Here's the vocal. Da, da, try that. Da, da, da. And we're all hooked up. You know,
yeah,
we're all hooked up because we want to be hooked up.
yeah,
I mean, you
absolutely.
still be in the same room, and you don't listen to anything.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. Like even me, who is like the most amateur of musicians ever, like even I know that if you're in a room with like a bunch of musicians, that don't mean that you're gonna do anything. Like you
That's right.
you, you gotta have the will, you gotta have the synergy, you gotta have the chemistry to make things work. And it seems like you guys had it, even though you had to like essentially be on you know the two opposite sides of the world. You still made it work.
Right. And let's face facts. After our first record, we did this arena tour with the Metal All Stars, and we played in front of, you know, 8,000, 7,000, 5,000, 10,000 a night, and no one knew who we were. I mean, they knew who I was
Yeah,
because I was the I'm in the Metal All Stars as well. But and then people started catching on. Like that happened, when Sean made the introductions. We had them right from the beginning, so we already knew that we would be successful live. I mean, people flipped out when we played. You know, and like Zach Wild said, he was on. I never seen an opening band get that kind of reaction. I mean, and it's you can see it the Hammer Down video on YouTube. Death Dealer Hammer Down. I
yeah,
think it's culled from all the shows in Eastern Europe. I mean, we already knew what we could. We had the power and the ability to do this. So the next record, obviously, Hollow Ground was easy already. We had it down. We have our thing. We're already working on the third one.
damn.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess
And some, and some,
I guess that's how it is when you just have a band that works. Things are just flowing out all the time.
yeah. Any riff that Stu has, he sends me. Any riff I have, I send to the rest of them. Everything is CC to everybody. Everybody
Yeah,
gets everything. Okay. So there's a constant stew pot of Death Dealer stew working
yeah,
constantly. We live in a song. Death Dealer lives in a song rich environment. You know, and unlike some other band that I'm not going to mention.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, wow, that's really. And actually, speaking of other bands, uh, you have like I don't know a gazillion side projects going, or have been had, and so forth, so forth. So I'm just curious to know, is there anything going on the front for those bands, or is it just 2,000% Death Dealer right now for you?
Well, I could tell you. All right. So the Roster Boss band has been on hiatus for
Yeah.
a while. I don't think the RTB band will record again anytime soon. I mean, I'm not saying I never, because I always will play with my friends. I love them. I love all the guys.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no problems. I said, but my attention is affixed to Death Dealer. My other band is the Dictators New York NYC. Okay,
Yeah.
now that's an ongoing band since the '75. Okay, and
Yeah.
we even continue to try. We did 65 dates already this year. The band is getting bigger and bigger all the time. We have a great agent. We're coming over in November for another 12 shows. Spain, Holland, France. We did 22 shows in May. So that thing, the Dictators, and that's a different genre.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I,
That is punk.
right. I don't have another metal thing. The only metal other thing I have is like the Metal All Stars, and on occasion we have the Titans of Metal in Israel, December 17th, and that's Sean Peck, my bass player from the Dictators, Uli John Roth, Vinny Appice, the two Merciful Fate guitar players, lady from Nightwish, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Those are one-off kind of things. Those are just great for the fans. Okay, that's what I have. But it's as far as my musical career right now, it's Death Dealer, 100% for heavy metal. Death Dealer rules. Death Dealer is the band.
All right, cool. Now, of course, you guys just, well, not just, but you guys have been on a tour with Death Dealer, like
Right.
recently. Like, what is it, 1 month ago it ended or something along
Yeah, it
those
was
lines?
about a month ago. Right.
Yeah, which
About a
of
month
course
ago.
included 3 shows in my homeland of Sweden, which I somehow managed to miss. And
Did you see
and
it?
no, sadly I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't know about it until it was too late. So yeah.
Well, you see, I mean, it takes time.
Yeah, yeah, it does. But of course, I always have to ask this: did you get any fond memories from the tour? Like anything just special, or was it just another tour?
Well, I could tell you something. We shot the video at Owe
Oh yeah, yeah,
Lindborg.
you did that. Yeah.
We shot the video at his house in northern Sweden. Um, we shot Break the Silence up there in his backyard, in his vast backyard.
Oh damn.
And it was an amazing. I mean, I've done some videos,
Yeah.
and this is an amazing shoot. We get there, and he had the drone. The guy's getting the drone ready for. He's got the screen. He's got these guys are pouring gasoline on the fire towers and everything's. I said, oh my god. I was like, this is
Wow.
great.
How the hell did he get the idea that yeah let's shoot it in my backyard?
Well, this guy is one of the greatest video directors I ever worked with. I mean, and if you look at his what he's done, I mean, it's just very impressive. So he's a legend, and he's a legendary drummer too. So I mean, that was an
Yeah.
incredible experience. The 18-hour drives, the day before and the day after weren't very very fun, but whatever we had to do to make it work.
Yeah.
Whatever we had to do to make that work, we're willing to do it, no matter what. And it all. I mean, it's like you see the video. I mean, it's absolutely great. And you know, but and another great thing was the festivals that we played this summer. When you see the reaction of big crowds reacting to Death Dealer for the first time, it's really an amazing thing to do, because we played new songs that weren't even on War Master, on Hollow Ground. We have this song called Revolution, I Am the Revolution, and like to the first, we're all about choruses and sing along. And the first chorus, people are like, high, hang 'em high, I am the revolution. That's
Oh,
the
that
first
sounds
chorus.
awesome.
High, hang, wave 'em high, hands in the, it's like by the first chorus, everyone's like, oh yeah. By the second chorus, half the crowd has already taught themselves how to react, right? And they're doing it, right? And by the third, the whole place is just going berserk, because they've already taught themselves the song. So
All right,
They're very strong.
that sounds amazing. Like that's the kind of first impression you want from a band. You go there,
Exactly,
you don't know
exactly.
shit, and and you leave like I know half your songs now.
That's right. And the thing about Death Dealer is it's all songs. Songs comes first. The only way I would join a band. Songs come first. The stupid soloing, which is important, of course.
Of
The
course.
soloing. I didn't mean stupid. I mean, but come on.
Yeah.
The Everyone knows we can't. So I mean, the soloing is just part of the song. Okay, the song is more important than anything, and that's where I think a lot of metal bands have gone wrong. A lot of punk bands too, because they have no songs either. It's the same deal. I mean, if you have songs, if you have great songs, anything can happen. If you have great songs, anything can happen in music.
Yeah,
Okay, you
absolutely.
don't have to be the greatest guitar players.
No, absolutely, and I think punk is actually like overall a pretty good example of this because punk is, and this is of course generalizing, very simple music. Like it doesn't consist of like extremely complex song structures or anything. It's simple music done really damn good. You know,
Yes.
so and of course there's that aspect in metal, but as we both know, metal also has that side of like, yeah, you could also do like an 8-minute guitar solo. That could work too.
Yeah. Well, listen. I mean, Stu and I. I mean, whatever it. What this is the mantra of Death Dealer. Whatever it takes to make the song greater. If it's a 2-minute solo, then there's a 2-minute solo. If there's a 30-second solo, then there's a 30-second solo there. If it's no solo, then there's no solo. We have a song on our record called Seance, and there's no solo, and it's brilliant. You
that
know.
that sounds exactly like the kind of stuff like I'd like to hear.
Yeah.
Because like okay, I love a good solo. A good solo can almost make a song. But then there are also songs that have solos that just don't matter, or just parts that destroy the song because like it doesn't have to be there. It should just have like gone back to the next chorus, or hey, do a new verse, or I don't know, do something else.
Well, listen. The song is what matters. And
Absolutely.
I just, I mean, you'll see it when you hear the record. You'll understand. Everyone will understand what we're talking about. So I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. I mean, I just wouldn't do something like this if it wasn't a song-rich environment. You know.
No, I get that. I get absolutely, and I would argue like looking at all the projects you've had, like there's a theme there. Like man back in Manowar, it was about the songs. It had to be good songs. On Death Dealer, has to be good songs. Dictators have to be good songs.
That's the Boss Band. The two records are all great
Yeah,
songs on that record.
yeah,
You know, Spinatras. Everybody want my records.
yeah.
It's my 30th record, my friend. 30.
And that is pretty damn impressive. I'm not sure how many other artists can claim that. At least in metal.
What, for 40 years? I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Now, while we're on the topic of like of songs and albums, I'd like to hear your opinions because you will be joining a pretty busy metal year. 2015. There have been like over 4,000 metal releases this year
Hmm.
already, and there are like another 500 to go or something along those lines. Now,
Right.
have there been any release this year that have taken you by storm? Of course, that you haven't been part of. And is there any release on the horizon that you're just dying to hear?
Well, I know the Motorhead record is out, and I
Yeah.
haven't heard it yet. My friends say it's very good, and I'm
Ah,
glad.
yeah, yeah. I really liked it. I really liked it.
Okay, and
It's more solid Motorhead. What else can you
good.
ask for?
And I love Lemmy, and we all wish him the best. We are doing the Motorhead motorboat cruise on September 28th
Yeah.
coming up, and we love him. I wish him the best. I've known him for a long time.
As do we
Um,
all. As we do we all.
right, right. I mean, and of course, I mean, Iron Maiden record is out. I haven't heard it yet. I mean, I don't go out of my way to listen to new music. To be honest with you,
All right.
some people pass it on to me. Check this out. Check this out. But I don't have time. I'll hear. I guarantee you, I'll hear snippets of it on YouTube and blah 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 blah. But I just can't sit there and look at other bands' releases. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of good stuff out there. Um, but I'm not the guy to go to go find it. I got enough. I mean, I got enough with my two projects, and you know, so I mean, we're all and both bands are in states of songwriting constantly. You know,
Yeah.
we have new songs to the Dictators, and the third record. You know, it just doesn't. You know, it doesn't cross me to hear the other bands. You know.
All right, yeah, I get it, I get it. Like, of course, I personally can't agree because I'm in a different position. Like, I work, of course, having to listen
Right.
to
Well, that's your business.
to
You
10
have to know.
new albums
You
every
have,
week, sometimes every day. You know, that's just what I do.
right.
And I
I
get
can tell you
not
this.
having the time to like sit and listen to like all the albums in the world. I get that.
I know that. Listen, that's your business, though.
Yeah.
You know, I can tell you, I can guarantee you something. All the other bands are going to know who Death Dealer is. I guarantee you. They're going to go out of their way to listen to us.
Now that's the kind of
That's what I
attitude you
know.
need to have. Absolutely.
I'm not going to listen to them. We're not going to listen to them. Well, maybe some of us listen to metal. I mean, like Sean, he keeps up on things, and Stu, but not me. They're going to know Death Dealer. I guarantee you.
uh, I really like that attitude. I just gotta say, I like that attitude.
Well, I mean, you know.
All right. Okay. So on to something completely different, because
Okay.
since I have your attention right now, and I have the attention of a guy who's been in the metal scene for longer than most people have, lived their lives and breathed air. Um, I, there has been this thing going on these last, I don't know, 5, 10, maybe 15 years. I don't know. There's been a lot of noise being made about, women's place in, I don't know, society all over large, whether it's, feminine this, equality that. And of course, this includes our beloved metal scene. There are people out there who question or who talk a lot about, what is women's place in metal? Is there one? Isn't there one? I don't know. But so I would like to hear from one of the original members of Manowar, a band that is about as macho as you could possibly get. What is your opinion, stance, whatever, on women's place and their current situation in heavy metal?
Well, that's a great question, and I will have to say that I think that women that are doing heavy metal and doing music are fantastic. I mean, the ones that I know of. I mean, let's just take it from punk rock side. Joan Jett.
Ah, absolutely.
Okay, she is my friend, and she is one of the greatest artists in the world today. I think, and she has been for a long time. Her bandmate Lita Ford. I mean, she's done incredible work. The girls, the whole female-fronted epic metal thing. Nightwish.
Yeah.
You know, all those bands. I mean, you know, there's, I mean, yeah, there are a lot of examples of great women playing music. And say that it's just well, it's a male-driven genre, that's for sure. But there are plenty of great women in heavy metal and rock and roll. I can tell you that. I mean, yeah, it's just that it's a lot of women just are dissuaded from it, you know, because they don't think. But I wish more would do it. I really do. I have nothing but admiration for women in rock and roll.
Absolutely, and I agree. I agree fully. And I would like to hear what would be your reaction if someone came up to you and said, "I don't think women have a place on stage in metal."
Yeah, well, I'd hit them on the top of their head. I said, you know what? Maybe you should just go back to the Stone Age. You know, there our metal sisters are just they're just as good as we are. And you know what? If they could do it, if they have the chops, if they have the songs, then they deserve to be up there and taken seriously. You know, it's an equal opportunity sport here. If you can compete, then do it.
Absolutely, damn straight. I agree 120 billion percent.
I mean, listen. there are plenty of guys that don't have the chops and try music and
Oh
forget
yeah.
it. You know.
Oh yeah.
So
All right.
you know.
Trust me on that part. Who are out there listening to metal like all bloody day. I hear a lot of shit. Like no offense to musicians. I would never. But that doesn't mean that their stuff is good or that they got the stuff to make their music work.
Right.
So absolutely. I don't think it's a male thing that metal is a man's thing or a man's music. Absolutely, that's bullshit. Absolutely not.
Right. I mean, the majority of the performers are male, but I
Yeah,
mean, there's gonna, they're playing. I mean, that's one thing. I don't know everybody out there. I just said
of course
that's
not.
my past statement about not knowing the guy who, everything about the current scene. But there are plenty of women out there playing music, and
Oh yeah.
I support them 100%, just like I support everyone else.
All right. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome to hear.
We are the Metal Nation. The Metal Nation includes everybody. It
Absolutely.
includes everybody from all over the world, wherever you are. If you're into metal, you're part of our family.
Yeah. Damn straight. Damn straight. All right. Now, once again, onto something completely different, just because I can. So, since I have the attention of a metal veteran, I, I have to ask. I have to ask, and I always have to ask one of these stupid questions every time I get a chance. Which do you think is the most metal Disney or otherwise animated movie?
Oh my God. Disney movie?
Yeah, or otherwise animated. It can be like Dream. I don't.
Wow, that's a tough question. That you know what? We had a song. We had a song, an extra song for the Japanese version of our CD. What's the name of that song? It was an animated movie. It was about cyborgs fighting robots. Wow.
Wait. Okay. That sounds awfully familiar somehow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just my memory on that. But we did a song. Triumph and Victory is the name of the song, and it was an extra song on. It was a bonus song for the Japanese release, and I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna have to do the research, and I'll email you the name of the song.
All right.
I
Absolutely do that.
the name of the movie. Sean Peck is the invent is the did that one. And
Yeah.
he's seriously into such sci-fi and all that stuff.
All right. Okay.
I'm
And
sorry. That I just can't think of it. You know,
that
Disney.
absolutely no problem.
I mean, Disney. Like my son's 24. I was into Walt Disney for him like 23 years ago, 21 years ago, 20 years ago. That's when we went to Disney World. I wouldn't know any of that stuff right now. It's been away from it for so long.
Absolutely,
But that,
absolutely, I understand.
but Triumph and Victory was about that movie.
All right. Yeah. And I gotta check that up too, because like now you poked my head. Like
Right, right.
I got
It's a
something.
great movie too.
Yeah. God. All right. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. It's a stupid
Oh
question.
no, no. I mean, there is a title of that movie, and I'll get it for you.
Awesome. Thanks. And on my end, I can recommend a really stupid yet extremely metal movie, animated movie called Ronald the Barbarian. It's hilarious. It's stupid. It's got like an entire metal soundtrack, and it just makes fun of everything, like from Conan the Barbarian to like Judas Priest, to everything.
Wow.
I can really recommend it.
Okay.
All right, so okay, so but before I completely derail this interview, to the point of no return, uh, are there any final words that you've got for all the metalheads out there?
I would say yes. I would say yes. That check out, of course, check out Death Dealer. Check out the 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 video, and then buy the video and buy the CD. Okay. if you like it, of course. But I'm gonna tell you, you're guaranteed to like it. If you don't like it, I mean, I don't know what is good anymore. So I will tell you that Death Dealer is constantly evolving. We're constantly working on songs. We're constantly working on new stuff, and our live shows are incendiary. I mean, we have an energy level that's unprecedented on stage. I've been hearing it left and right from folks that have seen us and witnessed it and listening to the record. People think it's super high energy, and that's what it is. We're high energy, super high energy, and we work on songs all the time. It's not a part-time band, and we just have a positive outlook for the future for the band, and we hope everyone just joins our party.
All right. Yeah, there you heard it, people. Goddamn Death Dealer. Go check it out. It's really bloody good, and I'm pretty psyched now to hear the entire album because you really pumped me up for it. I gotta say.
Well, go listen to Plan of Attack right now after we're
Oh
done.
yeah, yeah, I got it. I got it. Can't miss that one. Can't miss that one. All right. So yeah, this has been Julius of Metal Temple having a great chat with Ross, the goddamn boss, Friedman of Death Dealer. Thanks for listening, and